Good morning, afternoon, good night, good evening, whenever you listen. Thanks for listening, and we're back with another episode. Before we get started, please share, subscribe, like, comment, leave questions in the comments. Let us know what you want us to discuss and talk about, and we definitely will address those. And with that being said, let's get going. Today's episode is titled "Athletes Don't Waste Your Gift." Um, I think this is a particular topic that's discussed quite a bit, maybe in different ways, but hopefully in today's episode, we're able to touch on it a little bit more um, personal zone when I talk about the discussion of what we probably should be telling our younger athletes or athletes in this era because NIL changed everything. So, agenda for today, we're going to discuss what is your gift, how to maximize your gift, how not to waste your gift, the NIL era, as well as time is not on your side, your why, and legacy over fame. Now, anybody who's somebody knows LeBron James, right? LeBron James, when he came out of high school in '03, was touted as the number one player, period. But even with that, he had to cash in on his actual talent. So the question for you is like the question for him: what is, or what was, or what do you think is your gift? Right? In a lot of cases, it's natural talent. Some of us just get out of bed and we're just great at whatever we're trying to do, and that's just really just being in our gift. Sometimes it's physical ability. Our athleticism supersedes all. We're just able to run faster, jump higher, we're bigger, we're taller, we're stronger, right? We also have an understanding of that with that physical ability, there's some things that we could probably string together. Our speed mixed with our strength, our skill, and our IQ, right? And then last but not least, the opportunity to compete. Some people are not able to compete, meaning that there are a lot of people out here who are lost in the shuffle, who you will never get a chance to see or compete against. And so as a result, when you get the opportunity to compete, you have to compete in its entirety because the person that you're competing against is probably not the best person all the time when it comes to who could be better. A lot of times opportunity is a mixture of luck and being prepared when they all come together, right? So when that opportunity presents itself, you have to go all out. So figuring out what's your gift, how to be able to capitalize on your gift, and how to take advantage of the opportunity in its entirety is a true gift within itself. And then sometimes that leads us to this: how to maximize your gift. Now, there are some age old, adages as far as things like show up early, leave late, right? Ask questions, seek feedback, be coachable. Train your mind as hard as your body, hold yourself accountable, right? Those are some pretty much, old age adages that just keep going on and on throughout time. We're gonna dive into the first one: show up early, stay late. Oh my goodness. In this world of athletics, there's not many kids or people who actually do this. What I mean, even if you don't show up early, the grind that you have to actually commit to, people do not commit to it. Like, for instance, you can go in a gym around here where I'm from on a Saturday morning or a Saturday midday. There are not many kids in the gym, if any. Like when it comes to basketball, football, you can go to a field in the middle of the summer. There are not many kids out there on the football field working on their craft. You can go to a baseball park. It's just there's not the same get out and play. If it's not a game going on, people are really not out and about. So if you can build a work ethic of showing up early, staying late, having a certain level of discipline about how you approach it, you'll just pass a lot of people based on the fact you put more time in than they did. Just will. Talent takes you to a certain place. It can take you to the top of the mountain. It won't keep you there though. Now let's ask questions and seek feedback, right? It ties into the second piece, which is to be coachable. Sometimes you have to ask questions and listen. Like, just literally shut up and just listen. Figure out what's being given to you is actually of note because guess what you can do? You can go and verify it. If somebody comes to you and you think they're a great player, or you think there's somebody that can give you some great information, don't ask them a question and then immediately shut your brain out because what they were saying is what you're not interested in. Ask the question, seek feedback. It'll save you some time. Be coachable comes with asking questions, seeking feedback, but let's just translate it to an actual level of coaching. Let's say you have a coach you don't agree with, right? You all see the game totally different, just kind of what it is. But the one thing that he presents is the thing that you have to get around or go through in order to get to the next place. So sometimes we have to figure out how to navigate that, right? So being coachable to get on the floor in order to show your true talent is sometimes necessary. Maybe you have to run an extra sprint. Maybe you have to do an extra, suicide or whatever. But just being coachable, basically being low maintenance and being a person that basically is willing to do what needs to be done to get to where they need to get to, right? Training your mind is dang near obsolete. There are a lot of people who can play the game, whatever game they choose to play, but a lot of people can't think the game and play at the same time. That's a real true thing because a lot of people in this generation do not watch the game that they actually interested in playing. They don't watch it, watch highlights. Seriously, they can't. I promise you, there's not many kids who sit down and just watch film or watch a whole entire game, play one to play 100. Just don't. Training your mind as hard as you train your body allows your body and your mind to sync. Once they sync, you can play as fast as you think. And some people will say, how? Simple. Just understanding what you see and how to be able to make a decision in a split second to react, to be able to make the correct decision based on something as simple as the person's body lean that's approaching you. Something as simple as an actual thing you remember from the film session you watch of this player. You're in this position, they're coming this way, you know you need to be in this position because it's what they normally like to do. And that makes you just that much better. That's how you maximize your gift. And then hold yourself accountable. Show up when you're supposed to show up, be where you're supposed to be, do what you're supposed to do. And that will take you to where you're trying to get to. And if it doesn't, at least it gives you an opportunity to be able to take advantage of the opportunity that comes about. A lot of times we get that opportunity and we're not ready. We're not even ready. Sometimes we don't get the opportunity twice, we only get it once, right? Let's move to the next piece. How to not waste your gift, right? Anyone can have a good play. I want people to rock out, man. I want kids to rock out, celebrate their actual wins, right? But every time you shoot a three, you gotta shoot somebody in the crowd with the fingers. Like at some point in time, bro, it's just the same shot. You just made it multiple times. It just is like a layup, like a crazy nice layup. It's just 2 points. Like I mean, it's like just hoop, like or you playing football, man. Like just scrap up. Like it's so many things that we tend to overhype. When truth be told, we should be trying to have consistency. Like you ever went to a game and watch somebody play, man, and you watching them play, and it looks like every play is a highlight. like they really like that. You're like, my goodness, they doing this, and they don't even have a response really. Like, damn, you do this all the time. You find out that they actually do it all the time. It's a level of consistency you have to actually, get to. As a result, people who are always celebrating that one play tend to leave a very impressionable how can I say this mark on the game, right? If you leave a lasting impact, you come, you gone. Ben Simmons, was a great story to kind of look at and see how just a mental lapse in not even just judgment, just mental fortitude kind of led him down a path where he probably won't ever be mentioned in the conversations are great, but it's not because he doesn't have the talent, you know? Like that matters, man. Like it does matter. Just having the right mindset, it definitely matters. Be remembered for effort, leadership, and work ethic. Be remembered for something that you know that they can't measure. As a result, they have to debate on it. But if you put out a consistency of effort, leadership, and work ethic, they got to just keep it 100. Like, hey, man, this dude outworked everybody. This girl outworked everybody. And that allows you to be able to be what you want to be, which leads to the bag. This world of name, image, and likeness, right? There's a certain game to be played here. The NIL is very beneficial to young athletes if used properly versus being used negatively. It can definitely be a great thing or it can be a horrible thing. But chasing NIL over greatness is not the goal. There's a lot of leveraging that goes on during this time of the year when it comes to the end of the year as far as signing with football teams, getting to the point of the spring where you're going to sign your basketball scholarships or try to leverage those into a little bit of more money when you arrive. And then what happens though with all of that happening, you get a little bit of money, right? Show up, hell, we can't find you. You're not the same person you were before. You comfortable, you kicking it. You're young, so things like that happen. You can fall out of that focus, right? Versus taking the actual NIL and understanding that, hey man, if I got this off of just showing up, what'd happen if I actually put some work in? So chasing the NIL is not the goal. You're trying to keep the main thing the main thing. I got here by doing this level of work and focusing. If I can keep doing this level of work and focusing, the bag will always find me. I will always get it. Why? Because it's tied to the work. But instead, we'll have people go to a bigger university and then try to transfer down or transfer to another university and try to get the bag because they say their career's not going to last long. Not everybody makes it. That's true, but your career's not lasting because you're just not working. You're just trying to get money to money, here to there. And truth be told, it's really a vicious cycle of how to use NIL negatively, right? Now, if I was an athlete that played at a Division 1, 2, or 3 level and I had an opportunity to get to the NIL bag, the first thing I would try to do is figure out the situation I'm going to. I don't want to go to a situation where I have to sit behind a bunch of people. I want to go to a situation to play. So before I even take my first decision, I don't care about it being the biggest place. I need to play. Why? Because if you pay me a certain amount of bag and I can't play, then guess what? The next season, my bag not going to be as big. I automatically know that. So I can't focus on the bag. I focus on the situation. What about the situation I'm going to is going to allow me to basically maximize my name, image, and likeness? Can we link winning and my actual development together to make sure that gets me to what I need to get to, which is the next place, really? Not necessarily the next bag, it's just the next place. But I'm trying to link them together. And it's most likely tied to the work. Seriously, man. You can't go anywhere and not hoop out, have a great impact, and the coaches say, hey, man, we cannot lose you. What will it take? All right. But you go there and you kind of get your money and you kind of sit on your hands, you'll be getting processed out. You can go down to a lower level, they're gonna pay you a little something, but it's not gonna be what you want. And now you've used it negatively versus using it properly and trying to keep the main thing to build on top of what you already built. Now let's get to the thing of that time is not on your side, right? You don't have time to think, and what I mean by that, you don't have time to plan when you actually in the midst of playing the sports. Time just flies. When you will look up and all of a sudden when you look up, it's over. Like, man, I have 4 years, 5 years, and I'm done. What's next? A lot of times we're not intentional enough. We have to be intentional. Here's the plan. This is what I'm going to do with the plan. This is how I'm going to actually evolve and maximize my opportunity. This is how I'm going to actually create the relationships I need to create. When this is all said and done, I got to make sure my degree actually takes me to another place. So when I make this bag, I can actually build upon this bag with some type of actual purpose, goal, or focus, just in case I don't get to the lead. Right? So I know I want to do this for a living. I need that. This amount of money is here. Bam, I can roll that into that. Let me flip this. This is going to turn me into this thing. Be intentional. Like, really. Like, connect the dots, man. Because it's going to go so fast. Like, it's going to go so fast, you're going to look up and be like, man, what in the world? I got kids and a wife. Or I'm in a situation where I got a whole family I got to take care of. And you don't get to redo it when you finish. When it's over, it's over. It is over. Over. But yeah, a lot of people get 6, 7 years of actual, eligibility and running all this money up and trying their best to keep, this going. When truth be told, you don't realize they're living check to check because their lifestyle they created, they can't sustain. So NIL is how they keep their money going. And you do have some success stories where they take that NIL bag and all of a sudden, man, they got a whole vibe going somewhere. Got a real career, got a real business. Whether they make it to the league or not, man, they set. So there's some positives out here. But leave the game knowing you gave it your all. Literally, put everything you can into it. Like I said, you want to tie the work into the actual bag, meaning that I do this gets me to the next level of my progression of my development. That equals a certain amount of actual leverage I have, which turns to a certain amount of paper that I can acquire. You gotta leave everything on the wood, on the field, on the court. You gotta leave it there. You can't take it with you. So you have to leave it. Because if you don't maximize this opportunity, you may not have another opportunity. Which moves us to your why. You have to focus and figure out, why do I play? Who am I doing this for? What legacy do I want to leave? Is your why meaningless? Does it basically pertain to women, money, fame, or maybe you are person that, date men, and as a result, you focus on that versus the real stuff, which is something that's tangible that can actually have a return on investment. So you got to figure out, why do I play? Is it the love? Is it the bag? Okay, if it is the bag, now how do I acquire that and be able to actually build it up and be able to actually double, triple, quadruple it the next year? All right, cool. I gotta get in this gym. I gotta get to this field. I gotta put this work in. They work on this thing about my game. I see myself, dang, I'm having an issue reading this whole. I'm having an issue getting doing that, doing this. Let me get locked in. Let me do this. Let me get a coach in here. Well, hey, coach, I'm trying to figure this out. Hey, how can I make this better so I can be better for the team? Like, you gotta figure out the game, the mix. And once you get that mix going, you gotta stay in there. Stay in that mix. Like, this is what works. This is what gets me the next spot, right? And then figure out who you're doing it for. Some people are doing it to get out of poverty. Some people are doing it because they love it. Some people are doing it for their moms. Some people are doing it for many reasons. You got to figure out why you're doing it. That's what drives you. That's something that's replenishes your actual stores when you're empty. I'm gonna get back up because, man, we got to get to it. This roof over my head, I gotta have this. I gotta make sure my people good. Make sure I'm good. I'm trying to get to my business. I'm trying to get to a place where I can own my own stuff. I'm trying to get to the league. Whatever it is. Why are we doing it, right? And then what legacy do you want to leave? When it's all said and done, they put your name, down as far as the person that played whatever you play. What do you want them to say about you? And is your why meaningless? Is it something that's going to drain or suck life out of what you're trying to get to, or something that's going to add to what you're doing? Right? You got to figure those things out. And if you don't, you're going to be in a tough, tough spot. Because the truth of the matter is that this is the truth right here. Legacy is more important than fame because fame can be hell. It can be stressful. It can be a lot of dark holes. It can be a lot of light too, though. Depends how you take it. But eventually the light goes off. Eventually everybody can't be in the parking lot forever, being the king of the parking lot. You have to kind of eventually pull out and somebody's got to take their actual spot where you were. Like, you're going to be replaced. So your gift is not guaranteed forever. Eventually will fade out, right? Don't let the notoriety become the main thing. You can't just be known for something that you haven't really done for real. Like, you're just known because you're in this space right now. But what is the thing that keeps you here? What's the tangible thing? Were you the best ever? Were you great in your own state, your own school? Do you have some history that you've made when you were there? What do you want to be remembered as? Wasted talent or used talent? What are we talking about here? Right? Did that person completely squeeze every piece of juice out the orange? They actually used all their talent. This is what they did. They maxed out. Or you can see somebody who wasted the talent, which is why these next two stories are a story of cautionary tales, right? Now, for anybody who's not, a basketball enthusiast of some kind or love ball, you may not know who Lenny Cook is, right? So let me give you a quick overview. I'm going to give you a quick story of Lenny Cook. Lenny Cook at one point in time was considered the greatest player in some rankings in the country, even over LeBron James, right? He came out in '02 from New York, literally, man, immense talent. Immense talent. The thing about Lenny, though, he had basically a perfect storm of things that took him down. Some of it was immaturity. Some of it was the actual people around him. Some of it not having his business in the classroom. Some of it was just his actual inability to be able to recognize what was the best move for him when people actually gave him advice. And some of it was just, man, just unfortunate circumstance, right? And then when all else came to a head, he was in a particular position trying to work himself into the league and doing all the things he thought he needed to do. All the minor leagues didn't really have any type of actual, upward movement, but had bilateral Achilles tendon ruptures in his career forever. In short, one of the most probably talented individuals in the world of basketball that you never got a chance to really see maximize your talent. And then it didn't really even capitalize on their talent. But it's a great story to go look into. Look at his documentary. They're all over YouTube. You can find something about him. It's a very, very, very cautionary tale of how you can literally get lost in this thing trying to figure out why. And with the world of NIL, you can look up and be nobody in a matter of months or days, right? Another cautionary tale of somebody who actually got to the top of the mountain, put the work in, put the time in, got to a place where they were able to secure the bag, the grand bag, that NFL money, right? With that NFL money, if I'm not mistaken, I think he had the biggest bag, at that particular time of any quarterback. I think a rookie quarterback. So Jamarcus Russell is his name. Played at LSU, man. Was actually one of the most talented players that you would probably ever see to put on a pair of cleats. During one of his pro days, I think he was charted at throwing. Let me see. I think throwing almost 100 yards from his knees or something like that. Something crazy, like 80 yards from one knee. Somebody recently did that too. It was Anthony Richardson, and as you see, he's kind of in a place that very similar to Jamarcus Russell in the sense of he was out the league, but Anthony Richardson didn't get to the money. So Jamarcus Russell, record-setting rookie deal, was basically the reason for the rookie salary cap. So in short, he made so much money on his rookie deal, which was basically a total value of 61 million up to 68 million with incentives, guaranteed 32 million on signing. Sign, bam, 32 mil. Length 6 years. Key incentives included basically 3 million backloaded um, before a playing time bonus. Basically, if he basically completes his contract, he'll get that money. But they're going to probably extend him and restructure it. But getting that 32 mil up front as a first round draft pick is unheard of at that time. Which is why you can thank Jamarcus Russell for people in the first round not being able to get to that type of money that early. But he got there, and there's a story, about that when he was there in the league, his offensive coordinator, QB quarterback coach, all that good stuff, gave him a DVD to look at and say, "Hey, man, look over these plays for us. So what plays you like, and we want to, take that and be able to, figure out what we can implement in the game plan for you to use so you can be successful." And Jamarcus Russell took the disc home, and came back, and coach said, "Hey, man, what you think about those plays?" And he said, "Man, I love them all. We run them all." And coach said, which ones? Like, which one? We put a bunch of plays on there. Which one? He said, all of them. I'm good with all of them. Kind of find out the disc was blank. Was that wrong for the coach to do that? Probably. Was it wrong for Jamarcus Russell not to look at it? Yes. There's fault on both sides. But the biggest thing, we can't put the blame on the fact that if he was to maintain his focus that he had under Jimbo Fisher at LSU, when he was in the QB room, he was putting that time in and being able to, really work on his his craft to get to where he tried to get to. If he would have kept that focus going forward, this would have never occurred, meaning that he would have watched the tape and the tape would have been like, "Hey, coach, this thing blank." That little difference would have probably helped him to be able to garner some grace, although he was 32 mil in, and be able to still be in the league. The last thing I heard about Jamarcus Russell is that he had got caught up in a scandal at the high school he was coaching at, stealing the money the boosters gave to them for jerseys, I think for the team he was coaching, the football team. Now, how true that is or what has happened since then, I haven't followed it. I kind of sort of turned it off after I heard it. It was just very hard to hear. But it's another cautionary tale of you chase the bag, you chase the money, you chase the fame, you mix that with a level of immaturity, you mix that with not listening to the people around you who probably have some good sense, not listen to your mentors, or either you listen to the wrong mentors, you can end up like these two guys. Not that they didn't have the ability, it's just a fact that the why, the work ethic, the things that got them to that particular point they got to, it didn't get them to the end because they lost something along the way. Whew. Okay, guys. If you made it to this point in the talk, we really appreciate it, man. Really enjoyed this particular portion of the talk. This topic today, I love talking about athletes in the game and trying to inform people on what I know about the NFL as well as the NBA or just the stories of all the ones that never made it. And if you have any questions for us, man, you can definitely send us an email. Not email, but you can find us on our website, the contact page. Put something there, send it to us. We'll listen. We're also on all platforms. And please like, comment, subscribe, share. Let us know what you think about the content. And I hope that everybody who listened today got something from it. If you didn't, hope you have somebody who you can give it to. And with that being said, I hope you have a blessed one. I'll catch you in the next one.